everyone. Welcome to today's podcast. We have a very special guest joining us today, Himanshu Kohli, the founder of Client Associates, a multi-family office setup. He is a visionary leader and one of the pioneers of coining the term family office in India. Hi Himanshu, thank you so much for being here today. It's a pleasure and honor to be talking to the best entrepreneur which started in the year 2002. You had your own flourishing career. You were doing so well in your job, and from there you started the seed of Client Associates in 2002. Welcome to our podcast, and looking forward to a lot of insights from you. Looking forward to share your experiences with our investors. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Kenjal. Thank you for making it. And by saying all this heavy introduction, you're putting more pressure on me. I hope I'll be able to live up to these expectations which you have set. But thank you so much for having me over here.
So to start the journey, I'm sure a lot of the new generation has read a lot about you, but I would still want to hear it from your mouth that how did you start your career? How did you start your journey? And just out of university, what was your thought process? What did you think that what you wanted to do in life?
Frankly, I didn't know at that point in time, but it actually has been a bit of an accident. So I passed out in 95.
Okay.
I moved to Mumbai. My hometown is Delhi. Okay. I moved to Mumbai and I met someone during my summer internship and developed a great rapport. It was a UK-based group. They had investments in India. Okay. And while they were doing the investment with this group where I was doing my summer internship, somehow in February 95, they offered me a job.
Okay.
95, they offered me a job. So it was something they wanted to set up in India. It was more like a startup of a UK-based group. And somehow I developed a great rapport and a comfort with the director who was deputed to develop this market.
Okay.
And without knowing what my compensation would be, what my designation would be, the only thing I knew that the job would be in India and that too in Mumbai, for which I'll have to relocate from Delhi to Mumbai. And also the office would be set up somewhere in South Bombay. That is something which I was aware of it, and I was always fancied with South Bombay because Nariman Point I used to look at the tall buildings, and un dino mein Delhi used to be all low rises.
Right.
And I said this is the place where I would like to build my career from, and I just said yes to them, and realized 3 months they didn't have their own office. They didn't have their setup over here. They didn't get the RBI approval. But initial days, it was spending time with them, maybe sharing the knowledge about India, which means you have to first of all acquire knowledge to share it with them. So every day, 1 hour, it used to be a monologue presentation from my side, what is happening in India, be it on the markets, be it on the businesses, be it on the politics, sports, Bollywood, anything and everything which I can share about India so that their understanding about India increases.
Okay.
And but thankfully, after 3 months, they got the approval to set up a base, and I realized now I'll be into employment, I'll get some salary at the end of the month.
And probably your all that every day evening 1 hour of talk must have gone to the RBI to get the approvals.
No, every day. No, that time there was no podcast and all those things. So it used to be a phone call, 11:30 in the morning. The phone used to ring, which used to be 8 o'clock in Cyprus because my reporting used to happen to the director in Cyprus.
Okay.
So 8 to 9 he used to speak, he used to come early to get India perspective. And my job used to start at 7 o'clock in the morning, reading all the papers, making my own summarized version till 11 o'clock. And so that I'm prepared for the interview, like the way you're doing a podcast right now. I used to do that kind of a podcast with him at that point in time, what is happening in India. But that really changed my perspective. Completely from a studious, introvert, sports person, I actually thought I'm becoming far more matured. I'm taking up this plunge, and that plunge really paid off to me. And that actually sowed the seed of entrepreneurship within me. I don't come from a family of business house or entrepreneurs. Father has been a government servant throughout his life.
Okay.
So it was a very secured atmosphere. While for me, even doing something like this was considered as a big risk by my family.
Right. Coming from the government services, so the expectation was that the son should also get into one of those plush IAS jobs.
Yeah, that was the expectation. And that too also, that time, getting into a job where you do not know when they will start the office, what would be your compensation. Starting something absolutely afresh, like a founding team member, it was like a startup. And those days, 95 startups, world was slightly alien over here. Entrepreneurship was slightly alien over there.
Absolutely.
But even it was a job offered by them, but it was considered more like a business at that point in time, and that sowed the seed of business within me.
So this seed started from 95 and not 2002 in that case.
No. So 2002 was re-sowing the seed. So 95 I started with this seed.
And the plant was growing then.
Yeah, but also I went through my down cycle also. So 98, I lost my job with them when they were going through a rough patch, and it's not that we were doing bad. In fact, 97, India was the best performing market for them across 32 countries. But 98, they got stuck badly in Russia, and they couldn't come out of that crisis. And as a result, they closed down 30 countries, including India, and kept the team only in Russia and London to recover all their dues. So they were taken over by another bank. And the bank, first thing they did was send us the pink slip.
So being a sports person, how did you take that? I'm sure when you are a sports person, failures come very naturally and they're accepted also very easily. So I'm sure you would have jumped back and you would have
So I do play a lot of sports. I would say yes, I lose sometimes, but there is a habit of winning. You have to fight it out. Every match you have to fight it out. So that was also a moment when the defeat happened. You have to accept it very gracefully and you have to say thanks. Yes, I've accepted this. Maybe the way we were going, success was coming too early days in the life. Sometimes success comes too early. You you lose the respect of success also, and you become slightly arrogant. So maybe that failure at that point in time was a great learning, and which also ensured that you remain humble wherever you are, whatever you achieve. You just don't need to show off. You just need to remain grounded over there. So sports actually has played a very, very important role in my life. Be it working with the team, working along with them, be a part of the team, lead from the front, the habit of winning, and accepting the defeat gracefully. So that I would say, Kinjal, when I lost the job with London 450, it was like a defeat, but I accepted it very comfortably. And I said, okay, fine, now I've lost this job. I have to go and apply again somewhere else. And I don't need to see what I was. I have to start from base zero again. And I accepted a job which was at 1/3 the salary. And I said, okay, fine, I'll have to manage within this means only. Because I can't be, again, being a beggar, you can't be a chooser at that point in time. So you said, okay, fine, whatever is coming your way, you have to just evaluate it and you see whether you want to do something like this. If yes, money should not be the criteria. It should just be the right line with the right organization, right value system. That is what I selected at that point in time.
Oh, and in the year, I remember, if I'm not wrong, in the year 2000, there was a crash, IT crash as well.
Yes.
So how did that, it must have been difficult to get a job then in those days.
So this is 98. I got a job at DSP Merrill Lynch. And 2000, I moved to Delhi to set up their private clients group in Delhi. With DSP Merrill Lynch. So it was a great experience for me because DSP Merrill Lynch was also very entrepreneurial. Going back to your roots where I come from and starting something from scratch, which was just like something I couldn't have asked for anything better.
Right.
So it gave me another opportunity to work like an entrepreneur.
And it's again run, in those days DSP again was run by Hemendra Kothari completely.
Right.
So
Hemendra Bhai used to be there, but Merrill Lynch was also a very strong player, and Merrill Lynch was a very strong broker dealer network in the Western markets. They were also big into wealth management side, and India they thought wealth opportunities increasing. So they wanted to set up. So they just gave the culture of entrepreneurship, and you go and sow your own client base, work like an entrepreneur. It's not a 9 to 6 kind of a job. It is something what you enjoy, develop it, and build your book. And that is something which was sold to me by my bosses Pradeep Durkani and Nikhil Kapadia, who used to work very closely with Hemendra Bhai. And I started doing fairly well over here, and they thought there is a spark within me. Why not just go and start this office in Delhi itself? So that is something which again was a blessing for me, that it helped me on both fronts, personal as well as professional front. And I spent some time with them before I changed to the job to a German bank. I moved to Deutsche Bank in 2001 and spent 15 months with them, learned a lot over there.
Deutsche was again in Delhi?
Deutsche was again in Delhi and Gurgaon. So I learned quite a bit of stuff because Merrill was still more broking side, short-term approach, while Deutsche was more long-term concepts of asset allocation, which I found very, very useful. They were also one of the best employers, used to look after your employees very well. But the culture of building up was missing over there. It was more maintenance and compliance and administrative work. That is something which was the cause of frustration. And that is something which led to client associates. I said, okay, fine, salary looks comfortable, everything is set. But again, the spirit of building up something is missing over here. And again, to be honest, we were bored of pushing products because this market, which is dominated by various banks, brokers, they just want to sell the products to the respective client incorporation, HNIs, UHNIs. And we said this is such a noble profession whereby you can actually work like a financial doctor, but you end up just pushing products. And to be independent, you just need to create an independent platform. And believe me, that time also there was no concept of professional wealth manager to quit their job and start their professional enterprise. We pioneered this because we said if we have to set up something like this, we need to then become independent. And as I mentioned, I come from a government service class family. There was no backing of any capital. There was no backing of any brand or institution. It was just the passion or the intellectual capital to do something different, which prompted both my partner and me to quit our job. And we said, okay, fine, we have an intellectual capital. We'll launch something around the lines of client first, client-centric. That is the mantra for our success. Think long term, work along with the clients. Rather than what you have to sell, look at what they need and provide services or solutions around that. And that is how the name even client associates. Client come first and we are the associates partners. That came into picture and we launched the first multifamily office way back in 2002. Which was the alien term at that point in time.
Absolutely. I don't recollect in 2002 anybody talking about family office then. And you were the first ones to pioneer into family office, a concept, something like family office. And of course, this in ancient days we used to have where Maharajas used to have these the so-called now Treasury Department. But those days it used to be just one Munimji who would come and mention and give all the details to Maharaj. So I think you guys have also started.
So when we first learned about this concept of family office, this is during our training to London where we met some wealth professionals and they talked about this family office is a big concept in US. We studied more about it. We realized Rockefeller is doing it in a very professional manner. They were the first ones to start this 150 years back. But then when we went deeper into this, we realized this used to be Raja Maharajas अपने यहाँ पे करते थे. उनके मुंशी जी, मुनीम जी, वजीर, सूत्रधार, मार्गदर्शक. Those used to be like a private CFO to Raja. And उनका job क्या होता था कि राजा की wealth को preserve करें. कहीं ये ना हो जोश में आके राजा ये wealth उजाड़ दे. Now we need to preserve this. While Rockefeller said preservation is important, but growth is also important because money needs to grow over a period of time. You can't keep the money.
It will depreciate eventually.
In the bed, or you can't keep the money under the
carpet.
Under the carpet. So they brought in preservation and growth together, a good balance of that. And that is something which we felt we need to work with people, HNIs, UHNIs. We need to preserve their wealth, but we also need to ensure we need to grow this wealth in a manner which works purely around client needs. And that's how family office was born. First multi-family office in India was born in 2002. So
how did you sell this concept of multi-family office to your clients? How did you approach the clients? How did this whole journey start of the first client that you acquired? And what was the feeling then?
So one thing I learned way back when I started my career in 95 with London for Fitting. You don't need to sell anything. You need to make people buy. So you need to first of all understand their need and say, okay, fine, I have a solution for your pain, your need. And and this is something which I am able to offer. If you accept this, it will help you to fulfill your objective. So you have to think it from the hat of a client. And that is something which we brought in 2002. Yes, it is not easy because wealth is something which is closest to people's heart. Or closest is, let's say, their life.
Correct.
And second closest is their wealth, hard-earned wealth. They don't want to open up. They just can't get this comfort of trust right from day one. And this is a profession, nothing but a profession of relationship or trust.
Absolutely.
And but we positioned it from their side. If we offer you this will help you to manage your things better. And these are the services which will come with it. And there are few people, so we would have approached about 80 odd families in first year.
80 odd families.
80 odd families we approached in first year.
And the employee strength that you had then?
So we were actually at the end of 1 year, we were 8 of us.
Okay.
So first employee joined us immediately after we started it. And first year we were 8 of us. And out of 80, 5 gave us the chance. So it is something still, the strike rate was very poor, in spite of knowing what their needs are. We used to approach and they used to hear us out. They used to say, okay, fine, you are new, start kar lo, ek bhai settle ho jao, maybe we'll come to you later on.
You needed that brand name on the card too.
Brand name on the card also. So we said, okay, fine, let us just look at these 5 relationships. So these 5 relationships, which is clients, and our 8 people, which is our associates. That's the most important seed capital of client associates. And I'm happy to share those 5 relationships have helped us to go up to now 1,200 relationships.
Fantastic.
Purely through word of mouth, we have grown in this industry. And 8 of us who were there, which we call as the founding team, 7 of them are still here. And 8th who left us is also a great well-wisher of us. So we actually learned to build up relationships with our clients and with our team.
Also.
That is something which has really helped us to come where we are today.
Yeah. So your assets are your people.
Absolutely.
So how do you, in today's time when we see it's so difficult to retain talent, how has client associates helped their employees to motivate, to make them grow in their career and to look forward that this is where you belong?
Right. So easy nahi hai. It's not that easy. First of all, even getting a person on board is not easy. Rather than taking their interviews, we still give our interviews to sell our own vision, our own story.
Okay.
Get them a part of the ship which we are on to. And then we work very hard along with them to ensure that they are actually celebrating their lives. First of all, they are here with the core purpose of career growth. They should get that growth. So you have to work very hard to get growth. It's not an easy thing. So we need to get their buy-in. We need to see their attitude. Are they hardworking? Are they willing to work? There is a fire in their belly to really scale up for themselves also from where they have come. That is very, very important. But having said that, you need to work along with them to ensure that they are growing. And second, they are very happy also. So they need to get a great culture. Great culture. So it's not that we say we are client-centric. We practice it day in, day out. Day in and day out, we practice it. So there is nothing what you're talking, you're not walking that talk. They see it, that is something which is there. You need to follow a very, very simple approach to help your clients achieve their goals. And while they are achieving their goals, you also achieve your own personal goals, professional goals over a period of time. So we need to understand their dreams, their thought process, their aspirations, and can this place fulfill their aspirations, their dreams over a period of time. And that is something where we need to work very hard. So let's say I talk about culture. Sports is something which is deeply imbibed in client associates.
Okay.
So we do play a lot of sports. That also helps to build the bond. That also helps us to get the habit of playing with each other, winning with each other, habit of winning. If we lose, we accept it gracefully.
So there's a competition inherently within the team?
I would say it's a very healthy competition. We like to meet on a football field on a Saturday early morning at 6 o'clock rather than 6 p.m. In the pub on Friday evening. So that's the culture which we practice. We enjoy our wins together. We also hold each other when we are not winning. So that is something which is there. So client centricity, each and everyone matters. Look after their needs. If you look after them, they will look after the organization, convert them into professional entrepreneurs. They should start thinking, okay, fine, I'll also maybe start doing my SIP, which is what I'm propagating to my client. If I start my SIP, 25 years, if I keep on doing this, enhance it and build my overall portfolio, maybe they create significant amount of wealth if they give a long-term horizon over here. So continuously nurturing them, thinking about long-term, that is something which has enabled us to have those 7 out of 8 still with us in last 21, 22 years.
Okay.
And a lot of people, they have completed their 15 years journey, 10 years journey, 5 years journey with us. And everyone has got the benefit of compounding. It should not be only for the clients.
Right.
It is there for the people also. It is because of the people, it's also because to the organization. So we also have got the benefit of that compounding in last 22 years.
Okay.
Because of our clients, because of our people, long-term relationships.
So how do you rate, if I may so ask, what is the kind of CSAT score that you would give to yourself with your clients?
How do you define the CSAT score?
On the basis on the parameters of performance, on relationship building, on trust, on probably client opening up to you on their investments, because these days clients hold everything to themselves. They don't want to open up. So how do you gain that trust where the client tells you 100% of their life and then you design their portfolios?
So first of all, we go through a respectable reference of an existing client. So that builds a level of comfort. Comfort. But again, as you mentioned, India is a very conservative society. People generally just don't talk about their wealth so easily, open up so easily.
Right.
So they may start with a certain service or certain asset allocation with us. See our approach towards this subject. And if they have given us 2-3 years whereby we have met them 20-30 times during those 2-3 years journey, it also builds a sense of relationship. And then trust starts coming up. And then they say, okay, fine, I have this much assets with ABC, this much stocks is handled by XYZ, my real estate is handled by someone else, my fixed deposits are with this particular bank. So like this, they just then open up, insurances are over here, this is how my business is doing, this is what my thought process of the business is, this is what my thought process of my kids are, whether they are coming into the business or they want to do something else, where should I send them for higher studies, what is can you also help in the career counseling. So it's actually a relationship which gets established over a period of time. So I would say every relationship is different. There are some who become comfortable on day one, who open up completely. There are some who maybe take 10 years also to open up completely. So you need to see the comfort of each and every one. We can't superimpose our thoughts. But what we do is we just say, whatever you share with us, the more you share with us, it will be better for you as well as us. Because we'll be able to then offer you far more holistic solutions. But whatever you share, we'll customize it as per whatever limited information or data which we have or understanding about you have. And slowly as your comfort increases, you share more with us. And then we will customize it. We'll keep on upgrading our level of services, our scope of services to you. So it happens. So trust is something which is won over a period of time. It starts with some comfort, and slowly that comfort leads to relationship leads to trust. And that is something where we have moved from 5 relationships to 1,200 relationships, 8 founding team members to 250 professionals over a period of time.
Fantastic. That's lovely. Oh, that's a very long journey that you have gone through from 2002 to 2024. With approximately 3.5 lakh HNI individuals and a notable rise in UHNIs in India, India is now ranked amongst the 5th in the country when it comes to HNIs. So how do you see this trend growing ahead? Where do you see the number of HNIs mushrooming in next 6 years, 8 years, with markets trying to help you at the same time?
Right. So if you see this Knight Frank report as well as Credit Suisse report, India has become a hub of entrepreneurship. Every few minutes, there is a HNI who's born in India. Definition of HNI is $1 million.
Okay.
Every day, there are 3 UHNIs who are born in India, which means every 8 hours, there is someone who above $30 million is getting born over here.
Okay.
Every 40 days, there is a billionaire who is born in India. Now, all this is happening. So if we see India's population is growing at a low single digit, 1.5-2% per annum.
Right.
While the HNI population is growing at 16% per annum. So they are growing at a much faster pace thanks to the new age businesses, technology, digital infrastructure which is getting created. It has given opportunities to anyone and everyone to create wealth. So that is something which is where we see wealth industry is going to see huge amount of tailwinds because of the sheer wealth creation which is happening over here. Within that also, like earlier, 90% of the wealth used to get parked into physical assets like property and gold. As per the latest wealth report, now 45% is going into financial assets.
Right.
Now 45 to 50% if it goes into financial assets, there is a huge supply of money which will come into this. One, India is growing at a rapid pace. Second, Indians itself are heavy into savings.
Right.
A lot of that savings, approximately $500 billion every year, half of it comes into, let's say, the financial assets market, which is roughly about $20 billion per month. That's a lot of money which is coming. And that is something where we have seen this financialization of savings as a theme which is picking up very, very well. So 20 years back, as I mentioned, India used to be 90% physical, 10%.
Absolutely.
10 years back, it was almost 80-20, which is where Indonesia is today. 2 years back, it was 65-35. Today, it is almost 45% financial, 55% physical. World average is almost half-half. So we are reaching closer to world average. US and UK is 75% financial, 25% physical. So maybe next 10 years, we will be closer to the world, to the developed markets average. Now that is something which is happening. Equities, Kinjal, used to be considered more like a trading asset class.
Right. In the past.
Trading asset class. So when I started my career in 95, I used to trade in 1 or 2 stocks. Sometimes I used to think I'm a hero because I have won. Sometimes I used to lose. I never used to talk about it to anyone. SIP touched $1 million in 2002, immediately a month after we started CA.
So recently you ventured into a new segment of VC funds. How did that seed sow and how did you thought about it basically?
So, we have been seeing this entrepreneurship story shaping up fairly well. Our first venture into investment into this space was through a fund which we started marketing in 2011. We understood the space, we believed got our thesis done, believed our conviction and then took it to a few of our clients. 2015-16, one of our clients sold us the business and got 2,000 crores. 2,000 crores and they said 200 crores is something which I need to deploy into new age businesses. Because they sold off the traditional business and they said that is something which is maybe a growth capital for the family. We need to set up a family office and 1,800 crores will be into traditional way, the way we have been managing it so far. And that time we got a team which actually used to work with us and they became investment bankers and developed a understanding of new age businesses. Someone we knew very well, someone we trusted, we always wanted them to come back. We got them back and they started working on maybe this particular client. And we realized slowly there were some other clients also who were interested in this private transaction space. So we made a group of about 50 high net worth individuals or ultra high net worth individuals or multifamily offices and who had the risk appetite and the balance sheet side to participate in this new age businesses. And we used to evaluate transactions and showcase them some. So in 8 years since then, we would have evaluated more than 1,000 companies.
Oh, that's huge.
And 19 of those we took it to our clients. And built a great track record. Great learning, great track record. All 19 did not succeed. 2 of them, there was a learning over there where we lost some money also. but few of them became multi-baggers.
Okay.
And most importantly, we see so many VC funds, private equity funds. They show very good MOIC or IRRs, but very poor on DPI.
Correct.
And what we realized, our DPI is actually the highest in the industry. The money which has come back into the investors' hands. जो घर में पैसा वापस आता है, वही real money है. And we said this is the kind of a track record which is there. We are missing out on thousands of other relationships of ours who can't participate in this because there's a certain minimum size to be required.
Right.
And then we said if we have to really do justice to those 1,000 relationships also, where through 1 crore they can actually build up those 19 companies kind of a portfolio, because otherwise if someone had to build up those 19 companies, they had to invest minimum 75 crores in those 19 companies.
Absolutely.
So with 1 crore they can create. And we thought, why not we launch this to benefit our entire client ecosystem, because as I mentioned, Client Associates is known for what the client needs. Client comes first.
Right.
And we then thought, why not we go and take an approval, because there is no point creating a pool of money into a loose structure, because a lot of clients used to say that you create a special SPV for us, we want to participate in these deals. We said, no, we'll go in a proper regulatory manner. We went to SEBI, got the respective AIF license, transferred the same team over there, built up the best governance system in terms of the advisory board and board of directors for this particular fund, and started raising money. So it's a small fund. Like in those 19 companies, we invested 800 odd crores. We wanted to keep the thesis something similar, what we have learned. And we have created a 500 crores fund, 300 plus 200. 200 is the green shoe option. So we have raised 300 plus and done the first closing. And now we want to deploy it in 1 or 2 companies and then go for the green shoe option, because we still have about a year to complete this. So this is something which prompted us. So anything which makes from a client's point of view, anything which has impacted them, there is an interest, there is a need, there is a want, we want to then provide solutions.
Similarly, you also extended into immigration, into real estate. So how did real estate and immigration thought come into?
Right. So as I mentioned, we are a balance sheet banker. We work like a private CFO. Client की जहाँ need है, हम वहाँ पे उस need के basis पे vertical या services को sort करेंगे, and then scale it up over a period of time. So today, if I look at a client incorporation of client associates, let's say they have some investments into financial assets.
Right.
They have some investments into property. They have a large chunk of their wealth in their underlying businesses or enterprises which they are running. They have a need for succession of the business, succession of the private wealth. Also family structuring. Sometimes family is becoming far more global. बच्चे बाहर पढ़ने जा रहे हैं. They may want to settle overseas. Immigration becomes, and in any case, people do not want to put all their eggs in one basket. They need to have a plan B. They also have some borrowing needs in the businesses. They want to insulate the family from the business risk part of it. So lending services or solutions comes as a part of that. They also have some risk coverage needs, which is around insurances. So we just identify the need of one client or few clients, and then we start relating it. Is this the need which will be there with quite a number of clients? If the answer is yes, we say let's kickstart this with one client. Like the way I mentioned about this client selling out the business and getting 2,000 crores, 200 crores was for new age businesses. That showed us a thought, why not invest our time and gain the expertise into new age businesses. Similarly, someone felt there is a need for a succession. We saw some case studies. We could relate with them. We floated a service around it. A subset of that was immigration part of it. So client associates is something which has been evolving continuously over a period of time. Our whole idea is to get 100% mindshare of the client. And if 100% mindshare is there, you become far more valuable to a client. You become a higher part of their wallet share also.
Also looking in client associates, it's in 10 cities currently. You've expanded to Guwahati, Northeast. How do you pursue the market of Northeast? Do you think that's the market that is untapped as yet?
So I would say India is not a country, it's actually a continent.
Okay.
I have realized this in last 2.5, 3 years of my travel because of certain communities where we go and share the thesis of wealth management. How do you become Warren Buffett of the Indian market? How do you leave the next generation richer than what you inherited it? Which is where we talk the concepts of long-term compounding through wealth management. Now that is something where we realized there is so much of wealth which is there in tier 2, tier 3, tier 5, tier 6 cities also. And they are not exposed to something like this. They have been investing in the traditional manner like fixed deposits,
Right.
or property, or maybe
gold.
some gold, but they want to learn something about this.
Okay.
So that is something which prompted us that people want to learn more about this. They want to experiment it, and there is so much of wealth creation which is happening across the country.
Right.
And why not go closer to them and be with them like their private CFO?
Okay.
So that's where we see different segments of the society, different cities. Guwahati is one city which we realize there is so much of potential over there. Why not just go and set up a small team over there, and which will work like private CFO to few wealthiest families of Guwahati itself.
Okay. We spoke a lot about your growth. We spoke a lot about your futuristic views.
Right.
Can you share some of your failures as well with the
I think उसके लिए तो पूरा
investors?
2-3 दिन लगाने पड़ेंगे. There are too many failures, but I would say
something that you remember which really took a hit on you, and you fought back and came up like a sports person.
Right. So there are a number of them. Like when you lose a team member, it's a failure.
Okay.
Now, we lost some people during our journey, though I always mention that our employee retention is very, very high. Then you start thinking, what did you go wrong? Why did you lose a great person? Why did they move to another organization, another brand, or became an entrepreneur? What you could not fulfill. So I'll share with you, 2017, we were celebrating 15 years.
Okay.
15 years, and everyone talked about you have a great retention tool. There was not a podcast, but a discussion which was happening. And what is that we have done to retain this kind of a talent which is full of energy, and they have become case studies.
Yeah.
We said, let's look at people whom we have lost in this journey, and we shouldn't have lost.
Okay.
Let's now make a list of 15 people in 15 years whom we should not have lost. Maybe they went to, for whatever reasons. And let's just do an homework and see what can we do to further enhance ourselves so that people like this should not leave us.
Okay.
You would not believe, we made a list and we also tried to understand what's the reason why they would have left. Maybe it was for more money, maybe it was for better brand, maybe it was for higher education, maybe it was for some other aspirations, maybe the career move. All those things we list down, and we said, let's meet all these 15 people. We have made a list.
Okay.
We made a list of 15 people. And obviously we enjoyed some rapport relationship. They would meet up, but we wanted to prepare a plan before we go and meet them, that this is something which we can do to get you back. First of all, understanding why you have lost them.
Oh, this is
So
first
then-
of its kind in the industry that I'm hearing that.
Then we went to those
somebody's done.
15, met up with all of them. Believe me, it took us 3 years. 12 of them haven't come back to CA.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So
That's
maybe one
amazing.
more can join.
Okay.
One will certainly not join because his business has become far better than what CA is also all about. But
Okay.
maybe we'll get him
Okay.
as a client also.
Oh.
So that is something which we have actually focused on it. So there were mistakes maybe would have happened coincidentally or by chance, or maybe we did not evolve as per their expectations. They were even far better equipped than what we were growing at. But that has really helped us in last 6-7 years to further evolve and become far more productive, not only to our clients but to our people also.
Okay. Oh. What do you suggest to the new entrepreneurs who wish to start but are unable to do so because of some hesitations or because of the comfort of the job levels, or they have some limitations? But what do you advise to the people who think that they want to move but they are not able to take that first step?
So read the book Who Moved My Cheese.
Okay.
Come out of your comfort zone.
Okay.
आपको road cross करनी है, बाहर traffic है. If you keep on thinking about the traffic, you'll not be able to cross the road. Cross the road. नहीं चल पाओगे तो वापस आ जाना. But at least try it out.
Okay.
As I mentioned, it happened with me also. Maybe I joined a startup. It was against the family's wishes, but it did work for me.
Okay.
So try out something. At least you should not have the regret that you did not try it out.
Okay.
So I would say come out of the comfort zone. In any case, I have worked in 3 organizations. मुझे लगता है जॉब भी आज की डेट में अगर एंटरप्रेन्योर की तरह नहीं करोगे तो फायदा नहीं है जॉब करने का. There is no job which is risk free today.
Correct.
So if you have to take that risk, take a risk in your own venture. At least try and fulfill your aspiration.
Okay.
अगर नहीं होएगा, people will actually appreciate. Today, a lot of entrepreneurs who start, who fail, they celebrate their failures also. I know this girl from Stanford. She started a venture, she was funded, but she realized after 2 years that she is not going anywhere, and she was left with some money, and she said, let me just return this money, and then she posted a post on LinkedIn that I would like to celebrate my failure. You would not believe she got so many job offers.
Wow.
People appreciate, and she has gone at a very high compensation because she is absolutely brilliant, talented. She had the guts also to say, okay, fine, I can celebrate my failure.
Right.
And she is working with one of our clients' office,
Okay.
doing exceedingly well. In fact, it has worked so well that she had some of those thoughts, and the client had the bandwidth, money, capital, everything, brand, and 1 plus 1 combined has actually made it closer to 11 over there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So there is nothing like called as a risk-free in a job, or there is nothing too risky in your own venture also. Even if you fail, so what? You can always start.
What do you think people make mistakes? How do you think that people make mistakes in their personal finances? While investing, what is it that one should be wary of before investing into the markets?
So I would say one, experience is very, very important. If they don't have the experience, they should actually hire the experience of an advisor.
Okay.
Hire the experience. So the most important ingredient for a success of any investor is the discipline.
Okay.
So there are 4 things which impact the success of any investor. One is your strategic asset allocation.
Okay.
How much in physical assets, financial assets, bonds, equities, alternates, India, outside India. Second is market timing. Do I buy today, or do I buy tomorrow, or do I sell tomorrow? Third is product selection. Should I buy A bank versus B bank, or A mutual fund versus B mutual fund? And fourth is luck. As per various studies which have happened across 75 years of developed market data, 25 years of emerging market data, if you have a long-term horizon which is 5-year plus in an emerging and 7-year plus in a developed markets, 91% success comes if your strategic asset allocation is correct.
Okay.
Market timing, luck, product selection contributes less than 10%. Unfortunate part is most of the investors spend 90% energies on timing the market, which product to. They need some masala, excitement. किस stock को खरीदूं? कहाँ पे कोई project launch हो रहा है? यहाँ कोई नई startup आई, चलो यहाँ पे 5 लाख 10 लाख डाल दिए. So they lack discipline. They need some masala. Now masala is not very good for your health. Discipline is very good for your health, and that comes through sheer asset allocation approach.
Okay.
So that is the biggest advice I can give it to the advisor community, even to the client community. Don't get tempted with certain temptations which comes your way. Resist yourself and be disciplined. Be focused on the process. Don't attach yourself with the outcome. Attach yourself with the hard work process which you need to follow. Outcome will be a byproduct of this, and outcome will be far better. The more boring process you will follow, the better the output would be for you as a client, as an advisor for your clients.
So consistency is the key here.
Discipline and consistency. So first of all, you should try to know what should be your strategic asset allocation. No one has the patience to arrive at that. They just want to buy products. And product pushers के लिए क्या अच्छा है? They will just keep on pushing products because market is demanding this. So you say, no, I want to achieve my goals. What will help me to achieve my goals in the best possible manner? I want to leave the next generation comfortable than what I inherited it, or I want to leave the world richer than what I inherited it. So हम सब wealth managers, advisors का काम है हिंदुस्तान को वापस सोने की चिड़िया बनाना.
Oh, that's
जो सोने की चिड़िया
lovely.
एक टाइम पे होती थी वो हमसे छीन ली गई.
Right.
बट अगर हम वेल्थ मैनेजर्स सिंसियरिटी से काम करेंगे, लोगों की वेल्थ उस रेट से कंपाउंड करेंगे जिससे वॉरेन बफे ने कंपाउंड की है, एंड आई होप लाइफ स्पेन्स विल इंक्रीज because of the better lifestyle which people are living, or because of the better health facilities which are coming in. People will also live till Warren Buffett's of age. And if they can compound it at 12-13%, their entire balance sheet over a long-term period of time, they will leave the next generation far richer, not only in terms of the future value of their wealth, but also the processes which they have set up, while celebrating their life, because they will be able to give the best of education to their kids, get them married in a certain manner, buy them certain strategic assets for the family. So that's something which is going to
So
happen.
there should be fixed jars set in as goals.
Absolutely.
And accordingly invest.
So framework बना लीजिए, कितनी मेरी needs हैं, ये needs के basis पे मुझे एक regular cash flow चाहिए, what kind of a portfolio. This is something which is surplus wealth, which is a next generation corpus. Maybe I just need to have the discipline of compounding it at a consistent rate over a long-term period of time.
And that's where client associates comes into the picture.
Actually the whole profession of advisory comes into picture.
Right, right. That was a great insight. Thank you so much for this. I'm sure our investors have also benefited, and so has the advisory community. And all the best with your new venture. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching us. I hope you've got a lot of insights from today's podcast. Until next time, keep your coffee strong and your thoughts stronger. Thank you so much.